What's up, everybody? Can you get the music queued up? It is our Carnivore World News Report, Part Dux. Today, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff to do with the carnivore diet. I think the first thing we should kick it off with is we should talk a little bit about our thoughts on Shawn Baker's claims that meat heals. You know, he uses that hashtag. He started a website called MeatRx, and I think it's pretty cool. I always loved the fact that he talks about meat heals. I think that, you know, trying to convert everyone and trying to change everyone, trying to change the world into this carnivore thing, is an uphill battle, and maybe not even a thing to even really bother with. But to encourage people to eat meat because it's got a lot of vitamins in it and that meat can heal, I think is a good message.
It was a message that, I caught on to really early because, having a lot of arthritis and different pain and autoimmune issues that I couldn't get rid of, going towards a meat-based diet, I found a lot of answers in there. I didn't find all of them, but I found a lot of them in there. And we've seen a lot of other people really benefit from it. And I don't think my goal, and I know your overall goal, isn't to get everybody to eat all meat. The goal is to get people healthier, to see people make improvements in their lives, to see people make a difference in their friends' lives, their parents' lives. Like, what I love is that this is something that's so simple that anybody can deliver the message, and that's what it really is. It's like, yeah, meat heals not everybody and everything, but it can help a lot of people, and so that's the message.
Yeah, somebody, in an elevator, they ask you, they say, hey man, like, how do I lose weight? How do I look like you? And right as they're leaving the elevator, say, don't eat any carbs and make sure you eat some meat. And then like the elevator, boom, the elevator door closes. You don't need to explain a whole lot. Like they know everything they need to know. And you can throw out a lot of science, and you can throw out a lot of old school literature on nutrition, and you have everything that you need. Because if you go back to the basis of, human evolution, we probably ate a lot of meat. We may have eaten some vegetables and some nuts and some seeds and some other things and some fruits, but we probably didn't eat that much of that stuff. Most of what we relied on from our overall energy perspective and standpoint was probably meat. And meat seems to work really good for a lot of people, seems to work for a lot of things. And the things that we're sharing out with a lot of family members and friends and thousands upon thousands of people on the internet, we're just seeing such a huge response in people saying that's helping with so many different things. And the biggest thing we're seeing is some massive changes in weight loss. These weight transformations are huge. I think that if you can control the amount of food that you eat, then from there you're able to control how much you weigh, and being able to control your body weight, I think, is a key element of health.
I think stuff like skin doesn't get talked about enough. So on Maria Emmerich's page on our Instagram today, she posted a lady that had psoriasis, where her legs were like, it looked like they were third-degree burns. Like, it's just so disgusting. It's like all red and chafed and disgusting.
That is gross.
And by using a carnivore keto diet, and I think using six capsules of emu oil, she recommended along with that, because I guess that oil has some properties to it that can help. This lady was totally able to get rid of psoriasis, right? Which is something that, psoriasis.
Yeah, it sounds right.
And so she was able to completely.
I think cirrhosis is like your liver.
Cirrhosis is your liver. That's from drinking too much. But she was able to get rid of psoriasis. Now you hear on podcasts all the time. We've heard Brian Callen, and I've been on Brian Callen's podcast, and I've been like, dude, carnivore diet, and they're like, yeah, that's stupid, because they like to clown on everything. But if you listen, and if you take in the information and you tried it, the psoriasis, that you're talking about, the stuff that you're trying to go away, that you can't with any medication or any plan, seems to drift away into nothingness. And like I said, it's not going to happen for everybody every single time, but it's something to take into consideration, that you can make major changes in your skin and in your health with something as simple as changing to just eating meat.
I personally think that food can solve just about everything, just about every problem that people have. I think
sleep also, right?
Yeah, I think it can
There's
really
big
be
components.
a thing. And you might have to poke around, and you might have to try some different foods to land upon the right thing that is really going to work. Because I think that in order for the food to work for you, you have to find something that's going to be consistent for you. So if you just if you love eating certain foods and you have a hard time, getting rid of those certain foods, then that might make it more challenging for you. But over a period of time, like what we've learned is the diet that we're on encourages the diet that we're on. The nutrition that we have encourages the nutrition that we have. The walking, a lot of the different things we do, the lifting, it encourages us to eat properly. And it all kind of is starting to really work together. And I also think that this is really not mentioned very often, but if you think about how long human beings have been around for and how long we've had this industry of like such shitty food around us, this is all actually very new. Nutrition is all very new. And we sometimes get shots thrown our way because we don't have a PhD or whatever the case is, but amateurs can be really effective as well. And we've been poking around at this stuff for a long time, and we know things because we've tried certain things and we've failed, and we know things just from rubbing elbows with some of the best in the world. So sometimes if you guys are throwing shit at us, you're throwing shit at a lot of other people too, because we've rubbed elbows with the best, we believe, some of the best people in the world.
And our advantage is we have freedom. Like, we can do whatever we want. We're not held down by a university or some sort of code that says, you can't say this and you can't say that.
We don't have a practice.
We can say whatever the hell we want, and that could be dangerous in some cases, but I think we're pretty careful to only recommend things that actually have worked for us and things that we actually use. And I think that that's really important too, is what is it that we're actually recommending? Mm-hmm. I'm not actually recommending people do anything. What I'm trying to do is provide information on what I'm doing and what I did to change my life, and maybe how other people can put that in terms of their own life, just looking through here, Jon Jones, your boy.
Never heard of him.
Jon Jones, your boy, you love him.
Bonesy Jones?
Bones Jones, we love him. He just had
Jones, I texted you, I never heard back.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He just had a recent fight. It was really close.
I thought you were going to say a kid.
No, a recent fight, it was really close, but he's recently gone 90% plant-based because of his fiancée.
Ah.
And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because everybody in the carnivore community is like, as soon as somebody goes plant-based, like, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And Bones Jones is like the best of the best of the best, and it'll just be interesting to see how he performs. I don't hope anything negative happens out of it. I want to see him to continue to destroy people. I just think it's interesting that like the best of the best went plant-based, and we'll see what happens.
Has he talked about it?
Yeah, he talked about it on Instagram. I can show you. He has an Instagram post, and he says, like, thanks to my girl, I'm 90% plant-based. But I still think he knows to eat, like, fish and good,
Yeah.
I think, what he was eating actually looked, I was showing Carlos what he was eating, looked actually really good. It was just like carrots and corn and stuff like that. It looks really healthy.
He probably
really
didn't really
good.
say anything about meat, right?
No, he didn't say anything negative about meat. He just said, hey, thanks to my girl, I'm more plant-based. And it's just interesting to see if it stays plant-based like that. A lot of that times that plant-based turns into like junk plant food,
right?
Junk vegan food.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't have any issue at all with vegetables or fruit. I think they can be implemented, but I just think that it's also a good practice to try something like a carnivore challenge. I've been, over 50 days on this carnivore-ness that we're doing more recently, and that's been feeling really good for me. And it's a good idea to like cut out a lot of stuff and get rid of a lot of bullshit in your diet. But again, I think that vegetables and fruit, like people ask all the time, hey, can I have those things? If you're on a current plan and you have some fruits and vegetables in your diet and you're losing weight, keep going.
What a lot of people don't understand though is, if like a lot of people try a carnivore diet and they want to gain weight, would you recommend like milk and cream and stuff like that to add calories?
Yeah, as long as you don't have any digestive issues with it, I think it would be fine.
If you can afford the raw milk, that's what we get.
Yeah, and right. And then also too, like if you have lactose issues, then cream might work, cheese might work, but milk might be out. But cheese could be really hugely beneficial because it's going to allow you to eat more like burgers, allow you to eat more meat. You also just might want to try to really crank up your protein. Like, I've been doing shakes now with 3 scoops of Slingshot protein and at 90, a 90 grammer. Don't be afraid of like, that old 30 gram, that old 30 grams can only be assimilated or whatever from your nutrition.
It sounds so weird, but I seem to eat so much less when I kind of stuff myself like that. Like, I'll have something like that, and then I just won't be able to eat. Like, literally the whole next day, sometimes. So I think it's
be difficult.
It's important to sometimes stuff yourself. It's important to sometimes be full,
It's massively important.
You don't get super full on a carnivore diet, but you feel good,
It's part of human evolution to stuff yourself, and I think you end up with a really good cascade of a lot of hormones going on when you stuff yourself, just like you end up with a good cascade of hormones when you fast. We're kind of designed for some of that, and I think even for people that want to get big, they're like, there's no way I should fast, like that sounds so dumb. But if you utilize a little bit of fasting, like he's saying, he has trouble eating because we eat a huge surplus of protein and fat. It makes it very difficult to eat, but if you use a small amount of fasting, then you're hungry for those foods again. You're going to end up eating a good amount of it, and you're also going to end up producing a good amount of testosterone, a good amount of growth hormone. I mean, look at someone in SEMA. I know for myself, I'm on shit, so people don't ever trust anything I say, but like, look at someone like Nsima. He continues to get bigger. Like, he's not shriveling away. He's not getting smaller. He eats pretty much once, twice-ish a day, 1.5 times a day, and he seems to get bigger and in better shape, and it's because of what I just mentioned with what fasting can do for you, and also what engorging yourself with a lot of food can do for you.
It's pretty hard to lose muscle on anything like a carnivore diet. Like, it's probably not going to happen. The only thing I've lost was fat. I've stayed the same weight kind of the whole time. Went from 200 pounds to 200 pounds in 2 years, but it's a completely different 200 pounds.
You squatted pretty good yesterday. That was a good workout.
It's pretty heavy. What did we go up to? 480. Well, I went up to 405, 415 and change or something like that. And you did.
You did 415. Yep, you did 415 with the chains on there. What are some benefits that you've had with the carnivore diet?
Well,
since you've been messing with it for a while, but like you started back up like more serious again in like January or so, right?
Yeah, just the benefits that I've had is you can stay strong. In January, the beginning of January, and nobody will believe this anyway, but I'll say it, I went off of testosterone. I wanted to see what the diet can do on its own. So yeah, like my strength dipped down a little bit, but like you said, we squatted pretty good yesterday. Like kind of didn't even.
But didn't you pull like 600 or 500 for some reps the other day too on deadlift?
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's like.
How many reps did you do? What did you do?
Well, I just did 600. I just was doing singles.
Yeah.
I did like 3 singles.
With like 600 pounds?
600 pounds on a trap bar deadlift.
That's a lot.
It's okay. It's not as much as I've done before,
right.
but like all that stuff's okay, right? Like I'm trying to I want to show people what I can do with the diet, just with my own body, with myself, see what the hell happens. But I already did this for a year. The reason I'm doing it now is because I'm starting to document a lot more of this stuff, and I want to sort of just see what the deal is, see what my blood work comes out. And if people don't believe me about being off of testosterone, when I get my blood work done, I'll just publish it, and it'll show a testosterone level of 158 or something stupid, and then people go, okay, he's off, because my testosterone is really low naturally, and I think it's actually okay. I think it's totally fine to use testosterone. I think it's actually healthier to be in a healthy range than to not be.
Well, I love testosterone.
Probably on and off of it forever.
Yeah, I know. I think I've said that before. Anyway, carnivore diet's going good for us. Hopefully it's going well for some of you guys. In the comments below, make sure you let us know how you're doing with the diet. Any questions that you have, anything you want to see us address, let us know. But I pretty much have taken you guys everywhere. I've taken you guys to a 49ers football game. He and I have showed you guys where we eat. We've showed you like how we order food. We're constantly pumping out information on Instagram. I've been on vacation, and I've been here, I've been there, I've been everywhere. And what always stays with me is the discipline of the diet, because the diet's not hard. It's simple, it's repeatable, it's something I can do on a daily basis. What are things that can be simple for you? What are things that you can implement into your lifestyle? What are things that are going to be repeatable for you, that are going to be just not that hard? We get asked all the time about like how do you stay motivated? Well, just don't make shit so hard.
Yeah. My recommendation of the week is to check out the Carnivore Code by our friend Dr. Paul Saladino. I think he did a great job. It's like a 400-page book.
What?
Pretty in-depth and actually pretty understandable. Dr. Saladino made it so that we could actually understand it. He didn't get too in the weeds. Some of the stuff a little bit in the weeds, but for the most part it's really pretty clear cut and really great information. I think he did an excellent job. I learned that monkeys can't really throw shit very well, and I've learned a lot of other great things about anthropology and how we evolve. So check that book out, The Carnivore Code. It's available on Amazon, and you can get the Kindle version, the paperback, hardcover, all that shit, and even audiobook coming soon, I think.
Strength is never a weakness, weakness is never a strength. Catch y'all later.